Breaking news in the Jeffrey Epstein controversy. A federal judge has just rejected the Trump administration's request to make grand jury documents in the case public. The judge had this to say in his ruling, quote, "The information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to the Epstein investigation information and materials in the hand of the Department of Justice." We have CNN legal analyst Elliot Williams with us now. Quite a response from the judge there, Elliot.
It is quite a response, and he even uses the language I thought you were going to quote, Brianna, is where he says that the Justice Department has a substantial investigative trove in their possession that could be released to the public if the Justice Department so chose. There's nothing shocking about the judge denying a request to unseal grand jury materials because of how clear the law really is around the country about not making grand jury materials public. So this isn't a big shock here, certainly not the last we've heard of this.
And it's another judge, right, doing this. So another federal judge has already denied a DOJ request to release Ghislaine Maxwell's grand jury transcripts. And they said that much of what the DOJ sought is already public. It was presented during her trial, so it's out there. DOJ knows what's in the transcripts. So when you're hearing what these two judges are saying here, Elliot, what should we actually be concluding about whether the DOJ is actually working in good faith to be transparent about what's in the docs?
Yeah. I think the good faith question is a very important one. To be clear, it would have been incredibly unlikely for grand jury materials to ever have been released in this case. As I said a moment ago, the law is remarkably clear on this issue, and it's really only subject to very few exceptions when you would ever make grand jury materials public. So then the next question is, well, what could be made public? It's whatever is in the Justice Department's possession, and that's all of their investigative files that the judge today made a reference to. Now, it's a judgment call for the Justice Department to decide how much of its files it would wish to make public in this case. But it really comes to them. And to your question about good faith, it's really a question for where the Justice Department wishes to satisfy public clamoring for information on this, but also their desire to protect the things that are in their possession. And that's really a call only the Attorney General and the people around her can make.
Elliot, the judge denying the Epstein grand jury transcript said that another compelling reason to keep the record sealed are possible threats to victim safety and privacy. We have to remember that there are victims at the heart of this who were children when this happened, right? And so I want to ask you about something that we are hearing amid this political brawling that's going on here in Washington over this. I was speaking last night with a member of the House Oversight Committee, a Democrat, Jasmine Crockett, who says that the entire committee should get completely unredacted files from DOJ, which would include victims' names. It would include child sexual abuse material. I asked her about that, and I challenged her because, as you are well aware, Congress isn't exactly known for discretion when it comes to there being political points available to be scored. But she said they can handle this responsibility, and if anyone did do anything wrong with it, they should basically be punished. But she doesn't trust the DOJ to be the arbiters of what gets through to them. What do you think about that? How do you balance these things?
Yeah. It's a tough balance. And look, I've worked in both places. And to be clear, Congress regularly says that they can protect materials. They say, we have security clearances and we can keep a secret. We're a co-equal branch of government. They also, Brianna, have enormous political considerations. And so, for instance, yes, they will have the names of victims that they could keep private, but they also have an interest in calling them to testify or bringing them out in public. And how could they ensure the Justice Department that they would not do that? I really am with the Justice Department on this. It is in very rare circumstances that materials are released to Congress, and it's only under strict assurances from them. And that I don't know if such a polarized Congress, no matter who's in charge, really is capable of doing on this issue.
Really interesting. Elliot Williams, thank you so much.